Okay. Hello. Hi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome. I am so happy. I am so glad. I vibrate so high when I'm just seated here talking to you about any topic that I want to inform to you about. Okay. Anything that I want to talk to you about that is, of course, of value. All right. So if you're new in this channel, you're so much welcome, because this is a family, and in this family we teach and learn from one another how to be better social beings of value, being happy and loving ourselves while at it. So you're so much welcome. You're in the right family, you're in the right channel. Please subscribe, comment, like and share my videos. Okay, subscribe to my channel. Okay, so you're so much welcome. All right, so I wouldn't want to waste your time. I'll just go straight to the point. And today I want to talk about suppressed anger, disadvantages of, having suppressed anger. And in one of my videos, I talked about anger management. And one thing I'll tell you is that being angry is a normal human nature. As long as you are a human being, something will just annoy you, someone will just annoy you. It is healthy for you to get angry. But now, how do you, get this anger out of you in a healthy manner? And in that video, I gave step by step on how you can be able to manage your anger, or how you can be able to let out your anger in a very healthy manner. Okay, so down the description box, I'll put the link to that video if you are interested to watch it. And then now you can come back to whatever I'm going to talk to you about today, which is suppressed anger. Okay, so suppressed anger, what are the effects, negative effects of having your anger suppressed? And what do I mean by suppressed anger? So suppressed anger is just anger that has not been let out. Like if we say someone has suppressed anger, it means this person has not yet poured out their negative emotions, of course in a healthy manner. They have not poured it out, and they're just keeping it within themselves. So they're just boiling within themselves. They're very angry within themselves, and they have not yet poured that out in a healthy manner so that it can get released from within them. So suppressed anger is very dangerous, and I'll say it has very negative effects on the person that is suppressing it. So one of the disadvantages of having suppressed anger is that at one point you'll find yourself having an emotional outburst. Okay, so what do I mean when I say that? Look at an example of someone. Picture this: someone is very much angry about something, and every other time they are angry, they keep bottling up that anger. They keep on bottling up that anger. They keep on doing it, and they never share it. They never find a way to let it out. What normally happens? We are all human. It will reach a point where they cannot take it anymore. Okay? They cannot take it anymore. And what will happen, or what will follow, is that they'll have an emotional outburst. And this can even shock the people that they are having these emotional outbursts towards, because it will lead to a lot of things that they'll say that they never even meant. It's because they were angry. It will even lead sometimes it leads to even much more than that. Okay, yeah. So it's suppressed anger leads to emotional outburst. Another disadvantage of just someone suppressing their anger is that this person will start being resentful. So an angry person, constantly they become resentful towards the people they feel have made them be in that situation. So if they are angry at you and they are suppressing that anger, then it means, or this is what will happen, they will be very much resentful towards you. So it leads to resentfulness, and it's not a good thing when you're a resentful person. It actually hurts you more than the person that you're trying to resent. So that person becomes a very resentful person, okay, because of suppressed anger. On to the next is that people who suppress their anger tend to have impulsive decisions. They tend to get themselves making impulsive decisions. So I'll give you an example. When this person, for example, gets angered, what do? The first thing they think about is maybe going to take alcohol, and not just in a normal way, but they can even surpass the threshold of, you know, them and how they can be reactive towards alcohol. And that is how most people who suppress their anger behave. They will just go take alcohol so that they can soothe themselves. They soothe themselves out of that anger, and in doing that, they end up even abusing alcohol and even drugs. You know, not just alcohol but even drugs, because now that is their run to. That is the first impulsive decision they have in their mind, to go and at least soothe themselves out of anger. Okay. Yeah, and then mental health is also another thing. If you keep on suppressing your anger, what happens? You start becoming depressed. What happens when you become depressed? You can either be very violent towards the people around you, or you can have suicidal thoughts or even act on those thoughts, you know? Yeah, so mental health, it leads to that. Mental illness because of suppressed anger, it's not a good thing. Anxiety also comes along with suppressed anger. So when you suppress your anger also, you can easily get yourself into a state of anxiety. You're always anxious, and it's not a good thing. Anxiety is so bad that anxiety is a very bad thing, by the way. Anxiety, of all things, is the worst of them all. So it can lead you to have anxiety, and it's not a cool thing, you know? Yeah. Diseases. Suppressed anger leads to diseases. Can I tell you how suppressed anger leads to diseases? You'll start developing hypertension because you have a lot of suppressed anger, and that is an illness. On the spiritual part of it, I tend to have knowledge on the fact that most of the diseases that we have as we live on this earth is a manifestation of the wounds that we've not healed within us. And what do I mean by wounds we've not healed within us? I'll start by saying forgiveness. If you are not someone who can forgive easily, you are slowly making your body have illnesses. Okay, so not having forgiveness, being angry all the time, leads to being hateful towards people, leads to manifestation of diseases in your body. So yeah, like diseases, having diseases every now and then, it's not a normal thing. If you go deep within yourself, you'll come and notice that maybe you are too resentful towards people, you are ever angry, you know, you are just someone who hates people, you never forgive easily, you have a lot of people in your list whom you never forgive. And I'll always say one thing: you choose not to forgive someone, it will never be on them, it is on you. That is how tricky forgiveness is. If you don't practice forgiveness, you are hurting yourself. You are hurting yourself. Because a lot of times, the people that you think in your mind that are hurting because you've not forgiven them, they're living their life to the fullest. They're having a blast. They don't even remember they wronged you. But here you are, being sad about it, having a lot of resentment, feeling hurt all the time because you did not forgive someone. Okay, it is damaging your immune system, and that is why now you get to manifest illness in your body. So learn to forgive. And when you suppress a lot of anger in you, it is one of the causes that can give you hypertension, because you're always angry, you know, you're always out here having emotional outbursts. You are depressed, you know. Yeah, so just have a forgiving. The easiest way of dealing with anger, just to be very fast in forgiveness. Okay, very fast in forgiveness. One of the weaknesses that I feel like, I'll say it is I have a weakness and I also have a strength. My weakness is I'm very short-tempered, very short-tempered. But can I tell you something? I forgive very fast and I forget very fast. you know, I forget very fast and I forgive very fast. And once, like literally once I can be angered right now and really be angered about something or someone, but in the next 5 minutes, I'm actually vibing with that person. I've even forgotten about it. And it's very good if you practice forgiving. It relieves a lot of negative energy from you. It relieves a lot of stress from you. Forgive. Let no one tell you anything else. Forgive, even if you feel like that thing that has been done to you is not forgivable. Just forgive. Learn to forgive. Just forgive. Do it. You know the way you wake up in the morning and it's just, it's just like natural for you to just stretch. When you're stretching, you're not having a lot of strength to do it. You're not using a lot of thought. It's just something that happens naturally. That's how you should practice and get yourself into someone who can easily forgive, without even thinking. Just forgive. Your life will be, let me tell you, try it. You will have a very easy life. You'll be the most happiest. I mean, just try it and you'll see what I'm trying to tell you. I might not have the best word to describe it, but do it. Yeah. So hypertension, okay, caused by suppressed anger. You see now how illness manifests when you're always angered and you don't forgive. Yeah. And then it also leads to physical abuse or abusing people physically. If you are someone who is suppressing anger, this is how it will manifest out, because you are not letting it out in a positive manner. So if you suppress anger, of course it will come out in a negative way when enough is enough. Okay, so it will lead to let me get this straight. If you suppress anger, most of the times you'll end up abusing people physically, you'll end up abusing people emotionally, you'll end up abusing people psychologically. Let me explain how. So if you're someone who suppresses anger, okay, you suppress anger so much, you end up being this person who's very abusive. How? Either you'll bottle it up until it reaches a time now you have to release it, and you'll end up getting physical, okay, whereby you fight or you fight the people that you feel are putting you in that situation, and you fight them physically. And we all know what this can lead to. You can create accidents that were never supposed to. You can actually murder someone because of anger, that. It's always like it's like a devil in that split second that enters you, and you act on your anger, and you end up doing the unspeakable, which you never even thought that you'll ever do it, okay? So it leads to you becoming very abusive physically. Then another thing is also this suppressed anger can make you become an emotional abuser, okay? You abuse people emotionally. How? So let's give it, let's say like it's a friendship kind of a thing. I'll use a friendship because relationships are always too sensitive. So friendship, so you have a friend. So what happens? You end up now, because you cannot express yourself or let out your anger in a positive manner, what happens? You end up abusing them emotionally, in the sense of maybe you're giving them silent treatment, okay? If it's not silent treatment, you are just disconnected from them emotionally. So that's an example of emotional abuse. Psychological abuse is maybe you might start making them believe things about themselves that are not true, okay? You start abusing them in a psychological manner, like you'll start using anger as a way to manipulate them to do the things you want them to do, okay? That is psychological, okay? So they'll tend to know that if I have to do this so that this person cannot get angry, and that is so wrong. Yeah. So if you suppress anger as a person, you are creating a room for you becoming an abuser, either emotionally, physically, or even psychologically, right? Okay. So those are few of I know there are so many disadvantages or effects, negative effects of suppressing anger, but those are just the few that I know, that I have experienced through other people, not really personally, but through, you know, observing, seeing. We experience things through other people, maybe by seeing, watching, you know. So these are the things that I have known over time about people who suppress anger, and it is that bad. Okay, yeah. So I hope you've learned one or two, and I hope you're going to practice letting out your anger. And like I said in my other video, I had already outlined how you can get out your anger in a positive way. Okay, so you can get to that video, which I'll leave in my description box, and then just click on the link and watch it. And if you're someone who is prone to anger so much that sometimes you do things that you regret, it will be a good start for you, at least to get those ways, so that you can be able to change who you are. As I said, as when I started, I said in this channel we always teach one another how to be better social beings. So you'll become better by watching that video. And a human being of value, everyone has a value, and you want to be valuable. Okay, so you have to practice these things until you get there, okay, so that you can be healthy to yourself and even the people around you. Okay, now as I sign off, this is what I'll have for you as food for thought. And my food for thought to you today is that, okay, I want you to listen very carefully. A moment of patience in a moment of anger. Let me repeat that phrase again. A moment of patience in a moment of anger saves you 100 moments of regrets. Saves you 100 moments of regrets. Let me say that again without interjecting, okay? Now, this is what I say, food for thought for you. A moment of patience in a moment of anger saves you 100 moments of regrets. Saves you 100 moments of regrets. Think about that. That's food for thought as I sign off. And thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you've benefited, and I want you to have the best of your time in whichever part of the world that you are in. If it's daytime, morning, evening, lunchtime, have it in the best fabulous way in whichever part of the world that you're in. And for that, I'll say bye. Bye, guys.